Hi there. My name's Matt Marooney. I am one of the Bot Camp cohort 9 students that is going for the market making certification. Just wanted to introduce myself a little bit and talk about this strategy that I put together. So, a little bit about me. I am a 30 plus year uh, software developer, architect, so have the software side down, but very, very new to trading, very new to all the financial concepts. So just learned a lot in this bot camp. I really, really appreciate all of the wisdom and knowledge shared by Mike and Fede and Huang, as well as others that I've talked to on Discord. Just really, really enjoyed this class, and I think it's going to be life changing. Hopefully, just with the knowledge that we've gained. I'm also wanted to share a little bit about the why before I get into the strategy. Why am I doing this? I just walked away from basically from corporate America, and had a very high paying job that also came with a lot of stress and a lot of the things that I don't enjoy about this industry. so, but kind of walked away from that, and I'm semi-retiring from that world and trying to pursue providing for my family in another way. So, we have my wife and I have been married for 7 years now, and we've been together for a long time. We've got 8 kids. And so, just trying to support all of us with trading, hopefully automated trading, so that I can spend more time with them and just really pour into them. And right now, I believe time is the most important and most valuable asset. So, I'd like to try to put the income on autopilot and try to leverage, my skills as a developer. And the new skills I've acquired through this class, and hopefully continue learning to hopefully do that. So that's a little bit of background. There was one office hour session that Mike actually had, where I kind of asked him, "Hey, if you had to start over with $20,000 and you had to pick one of these strategies, what would you pick?" And he said, "I would pick concentrated liquidity market making on DEXs." So I just want that kind of caught my ear, and as he kind of described how he would do that with Orca, this idea kind of came out of that, and so it's a very simple idea. I'll hopefully be able to put this slide deck in my strategy thing so you guys can look at it a little more in depth. But I'm just going to go through this real quick because I'm running out of time on our video here. But the idea was basically to provide continuous liquidity around the mid price, or the current price on the DEX pool. So my hypothesis is, if I can keep a very tight range right around the price, we're going to achieve a lot higher rewards, and we'll also provide a better market making experience for the traders, because they'll have a high concentration of liquidity right where the trading is occurring. So my hypothesis is, if I keep it tighter and I'm able to use a bot to follow the price around, I would be able to earn more fees than the positions lose in impermanent loss, and hopefully will end up being a profitable strategy. So I won't go through all the rest of this, but basically the only way to do this is through a high frequency trading bot. I tried doing it manually, doesn't work. I can't move it fast enough in Orca's interface, so had to program something. So there's some risk management involved in that. I won't go into all of that. It's also in the Notion doc. But the design is very simple. Connects to the blockchain via a private RPC node that I had to set up for performance reasons. I had to, basically, it calculates the upper and lower prices, breaks that kind of 2% overall spread into a bunch of 0.1% buckets. And those 2 and 0.1%, that's an arbitrary number that I may try to optimize, but it can basically handle any width of an overall range and a breakdown of buckets. Then basically the bot runs a monitoring loop, and it retrieves the price. It selects whatever bucket corresponds with that price, withdraws and deposits liquidity very, very quickly to move the liquidity around. And then obviously it harvests the fees at the end of the session. This is kind of a visual to show kind of how it works and what it looks like, but it opens up this 2% overall range and then opens up all these empty positions. I found it was very efficient to open empty positions on Orca using a position bundle. You can open them in batches, costs a lot less than opening them individually and closing them. And then instead of moving the positions, I am actually moving the liquidity. So that's the key to this strategy, and that's how it is able to move so fast. So yeah, basically I tested it on the Sol USD pair. I chose it because it's got the highest volume, highest total value locked, and it also pays out the most fees in 24 hours. So I kind of ran a couple tests. The screenshot over here is from a very, very quick test I did just to grab the screenshot, but just really quickly, I know I'm talking fast, but you can see how it, deposited the liquidity here in one of these positions. It always maintains liquidity in only one position at a time. But I ran this for about 5 minutes. It earned 7 cents on $5 worth of liquidity deposited. That's a 1.4% return in 5 minutes. It's performing really, really well. I spent most of the time in the cohort doing development, so I wasn't able to actually run a 48-hour test. I'm hoping to do that soon, and I'll update the Notion doc with the results. But the test I ran for 2.5 hours. Again, I used $5 in capital. I had a 2% overall width around the price. Each bucket was 0.1%, which is a very tight range. The initial price of Sol was 134.54. Final Sol price was 133.22. And it earned 63 cents in 2.5 hours. That's a 12.6% return. Obviously, this is a very scaled down test. You can kind of extrapolate what that's going to do scaled up. I'll be running more tests and continuing to scale this up over the next couple of weeks, and I'll hopefully update the Notion doc and Discord. So yeah, it's performing pretty well, and compared to just holding the assets, we would have lost 2 cents. So the impermanent loss was 2 cents worth of loss. So made 63 cents versus losing 2 cents. Impermanent loss was mitigated, and that proves in this very small test that the hypothesis is correct, that the fees earned by maintaining those tight ranges actually can overcome impermanent loss. Hopefully that will continue to remain the case. We'll see. I've got a bunch of future enhancements planned. We'll be continuing developing the strategy, but thank you so much for the opportunity again. Thank you so much, Mike and Fede and Huang, and we'll hope to see y'all soon.